Om. Om. Om Sagana Bhavatu Saganau Bhunaktu Saga Viryam Karavavakai Tejasvinavati Tamastu Ma Vitvishavahai. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Gurur Brahma Gurur Vishnu Gurur Devo Maheshwara Guru Sakshat Param Brahma Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Samatta Jana Kalyane Niratam Karunavayam Namami Chinmayam Devam Satgurum Brahma Vidvaram.
ॐ पार्थाय प्रतिबोधितां भगवता नारायणेन स्वयं व्यासेन ग्रथितां पुराणमुनिना मध्ये महाभारतम् अद्वैतामृतवर्षिणीं भगवतीम् अष्टादशाध्यायिनीम् अम्ब त्वामनुसन्दधामि भगवद्गीते भवद्वेषिणीम्। नमोऽस्तु ते व्यासविशालबुद्धे फुल्लारविन्दायतपत्रनेत्र येन त्वया भारततैलपूर्णः प्रज्वालितो ज्ञानमयः प्रदीपः प्रपन्नपारिजाताय स्तोत्रवेत्रैकपाणये ज्ञानमुद्राय कृष्णाय गीतामृतदुहे नमः। सर्वोपनिषदो गावो दोग्धा गोपालनन्दनः पार्थो वत्सः सुधीर्भोक्ता दुग्धं गीतामृतं महत्। वसुदेवसुतं देवं कंसचाणूरमर्दनं देवकी परमानन्दं कृष्णं वन्दे जगद्गुरुं। भीष्मद्रोणतटा जयद्रथजला गान्धारनीलोत्पला शल्यग्राहवती कृपेण वहनी कर्णेन वेलाकुला। अश्वत्थामविकर्णघोरमकरा दुर्योधनावर्तिनी सोत्तीर्णा खलु पाण्डवैरणनदी कैवर्तकः केशवः। पाराशर्यवचः सरोजममलं गीतार्थगन्धोत्कटं नानाख्यानककेसरं हरिकथा सम्बोधनाबोधितं। लोके सज्जनषट्पदैरहरहः पेपीयमानं मुदा भूयाद्भारतपङ्कजं कलिमल प्रध्वंसिनः श्रेयसे। मूकं करोति वाचालं पङ्गुं लङ्घयते गिरिं यत्कृपातमहं वन्दे परमानन्दमाधवं। यं ब्रह्मा वरुणेन्द्ररुद्रमरुतः स्तुन्वन्ति दिव्यैस्तवैः वेदैः साङ्गपदक्रमोपनिषदैः गायन्ति यं सामगाः। ध्यानावस्थिततद्गतेन मनसा पश्यन्ति यं योगिनो यस्यान्तन्न विदुःसुरासुरगणाः देवाय तस्मै नमः।
Thank you, Kalyan. In the last session, we were looking at sloka number 25. Maharshidam Briguraham Iramasya Mekamaksharam Yajnanam Jabayas Yajnosmi Tavaranam Himalayaha. We were seeing, we have finished line number 1. We are now on second line. There also we started about Japa Yajna. What is Japa Yajna? Yajnanam Japa Yajnosmi. Our Swami Nuchur Venkatraman, now he has taken sannyasa. He has given a beautiful explanation about this Japa Yajna. I will just read a small portion from that. There is a mantra that goes on perpetually within everyone. There is a mantra that goes on perpetually within everyone. That is the constant chanting of Aham, Aham, I, by the inner being. Here we come to see that the self within us is a constant Japa Yogi. Here we come to see that the self within us is a constant Japa Yogi. Whatever the mantra we chant externally, like our Japa, it ultimately sinks within and links up with the external primordial stream. Whatever the mantra we chant externally, it ultimately sinks within and links up with this eternal primordial stream. Once we come in touch with this japa, that the Lord constantly chants within, and our japa comes to a stop, and there begins the yajna. So japa yajna, and yajna means Vishnu. So Vishnu is always there in our heart. So Vishnu is there always in our heart. That means there is a tremendous amount of energy in each one of us. We are not tapping even a fraction of that energy in our day-to-day affair. If we are able to concentrate on our japa and slowly go from outside to inside, like we are talking about atom. You see, the atom has got so much of power. The atom has been now split into, again further, neutron, electron, and you can imagine the nuclear power now. So there is one which gives power even to that nuclear energy that is within us, like that consciousness which is illumining even the sun. We are not able to bear the heat of the sun. Even today, in summer days now, even a small rise in temperature makes us very uncomfortable. So that means if we can really sincerely do our japa, we can invoke that particular energy which will wipe out all the negative qualities in us. And that is what is called japa yajna. It has to be a yajna. Sacrificing. We are not sacrificing anything now because we are preoccupied with our own external affairs now. That's why I said in my note to all of you, the message to all of you, that from birth to death, the only constant thing which is the time, kala, and that time, once it is gone, you cannot get it back. So that is the reason why we should profitably use the present time before the death approaches, so that we will be able to progress at least somewhere towards the inner heart. So that is the purpose of this japa yajna. Now we go to he says, Yajnanam japa yajnosmi Tavaranam Himalaya. Now he is talking about Himalaya. Himalaya is a vast mountain, snow-clad mountain. And if any of people have gone to Badrinath, Kedarnath, and especially on a moonlight day, we can see the snow-clad mountain. And that inspires us to meditation automatically. Because it is that atmosphere itself is something which will make us inspired to go to look into inside. And Himalayas, we call it as Shiva's abode. And the story of, how Parvati married Shiva, because Parvati's father, Himalayas, Alaya means abode or home. And snow, Hima means snow. So the abode of the snow's abundance, the Himalayas, where Parvati is staying, and that is Parvati's house. And there Shiva was very, very comfortable. And similarly, in the case of Vishnu, he married Lakshmi, or Lakshmi married him, and she was the daughter of Kshira Samudra Raja Tanaya. So that means both Vishnu and Shiva, they found the father-in-law's house as a very comfortable house. And in the case of Samudra Matanam, when they were churning the milky ocean of first came was Lakshmi during that Matanam. And then Lakshmi was to be given to in marriage. So they were looking out for some bridegrooms. And Shiva, the Vishnu saw Shiva, and Shiva was not fully well dressed. Whereas in the case of Vishnu, with his Pitambaram and all that, he was well dressed. So without any hesitation, he gave Lakshmi to Vishnu as her consort, as his consort. So that means even the dress makes all the difference. This is a side-by story. So Himalaya, the vision of the Himalayas is so very holy and sacred. Even a thought about those exalted mountains bring the mind to meditation. So certain places, the meditation comes without any effort from our side. Because that atmosphere gives you that one. That way he was talking about Himalayas. Now we go to the sloka number 26. Ashwatta sarva vrikshanam devarshidam cha naradaha gandharvanam chitraradaha siddhanam kapilo munihi. Ashwatta sarva vrikshanam, among the trees Ashwata, I am Ashwata. Among the devarshis, I am Narada. Among the Gandharvas, I am Chitraratha. And among the Siddhas, I am Kapila. Siddhanam Kapilo Murihi. These are all coming from Puranas. Especially now, we have earlier seen Sagaranam Sagaraha. Among the ocean, I am Sagara. That is coming from, again, a Purana, two stories in Mahabharata. Gangavataranam, how Ganga was brought from the heaven to the earth. Gangavataranam. And during that Gangavataranam, Bhagirath tried his level best to bring Ganga from heaven. So that is that only shows that if we have to put tremendous effort, perseverance, and the perseverance will not go waste. Teaching one of the fundamental lessons in life, that is Bhagirasa Prayatnam, perseverance is the most important value. If you have to be successful in life, we all want to be successful in life, you should take everything as a challenge. You should take everything as a challenge. Failures should not deter one. Even if we fail in one of the attempts, we should not deter us. Failure should not make one fatalistic or pessimistic. We always say, oh, prarabdha, fatalistic. Failure should trigger only further energy. In the case of Bhagira's Prayatnam, he has to undergo a lot of hurdles. Ultimately, he succeeded. So that means any failure we look into, that should be taken as a trigger for energizing us. We should not see there are people who says that writing entrance examination of CA entrance examination, it is one of the toughest course, and many people make so many attempts, but ultimately after a few attempts, they finally complete the CA. One of my neighbors in Bombay, he has attempted almost 22 times. At the age of 46, he passed CA examination. So that means we should admire his perseverance capacity. So that is what he says. Now, this Ashwatha and Airavata, they came out of this churning of the ocean. See, there are two stories I told you. One was the Gangavataranam, the other is churning of the ocean, Milky Ocean. So when they for churning the Milky Ocean, like in our olden days, when if you go to any of the villages, so when they use a rod and then a rope, and then when the for getting the butter out of that curd, so they churn. So that means you need a rod, and then you need a rope. So here the rope was Vasuki, very poisonous stick. Then the churning rod was the Mantara mountain. And the churning was done by both Devas and Asuras, because they want to get Amrita, immortality, Amrita. So during that churning process, 14 Ratnas came, Chaturdasha Ratnas. One of the Ratnas was Lakshmi, which we have talked about. The other two out of that 14, one is Ashwatha tree, Sarvamrichana, and then Ashwatthak Sarvamrichana, Devashinam Chanaradaha, Gandharvanam Chitraradaha, Siddhanam Kapilo Munihi. And the next sloka it says, Uchchai Shravasa Vashwanam Vidyamam Amrtot Babam Airavatam Gajendranam Naranam Cha Naradipam. So out of that 14 Ratnas, one Ratna is Uchchai Shravas, horse. That horse has got superior capacity. It can fly also. And that was taken over by Indra. It is Indra's vehicle. Again, Uchchai Shravasa Vashwanam, the Airavatam Gajendrana. Airavatam means elephant. So he was the king of the elephants. So that also was taken by Indra. So Uchchai Shravasa Vashwanam Viddihi Mam Amrtot Bhavam. Amrtot Bhavam means while churning the Milky Ocean. So out of the 14 Ratnas, 2 Ratnas are talked about. And since it has come out from the Milky Ocean, it is great. And that is why Lord says, I am Ashwataha Sarva Vrikshana. I am the horse, Uchchai Shravasa, and I am the Airavatam Gajendrana. Now, among the trees, he says Ashwatha tree. Ashwatha tree is a special tree. It's not an ordinary trees. Tamil Arasamaram Yadva. So in most of the temples, there will be an Arasamaram tree. And that tree is supposed to be residence of Trimurtis. Ashwatha Vriksha, abode of the Trinity. In Sanskrit sloka, there is a sloka, Mulato Brahma Rupaya. Mulata means root, Brahman. Madhyamo Vishnu Rupine. Madhyamo means in the middle, trunk. Vishnu. Agrade Shiva Rupaya. On the top it is Shiva. Vriksha Rajaya Te Namaha. So that is the importance of this tree. Vriksha Raja, king of the trees. In most of the villages where we have this Ashwatha tree, people used to go around the tree number of times, 11 times, 12 times. Whatever wish they have, that will be fulfilled. Especially those who do not have children, they used to say, go to Arsamara Pradakhinam Pannu Abhimba. So that is the symbolism of this Arsamara. Because all the three, Brahma, Vishnu, Shiva, all the three of them are there in the tree. Again, we are using the twigs of the Ashwatha tree, summits we call it, for all the various homas. So the presence of this tree helps the mind to go inward, to become easily meditative. So Lord Krishna has selected all these various vibhutis, glories, to make us understand which will provoke us to meditation, or which will be salubrious climate for meditation. So Ashwatha tree is one of the very rare trees which gives you all these benefits. So Ashwathaha Sarva Vrikshanam. Then he talks about Devarshinam Cha Naradaha. Among the Devarshis, Narada is a resident of Devaloka, and he became a rishi because he attained Brahmajnanam, rishi. That's why he got the title of rishi. See, what is the speciality of Narada? See, Narada, like, if I have to go to US, I should have a visa. if I have to go to Europe, then I need a Schengen visa. Any country which I visit from outside India, I need a visa. Vice versa. But Narada has a universal visa. There's no need for him to get a visa and enter. He can enter any country, any place, any kingdom, any kings, any Rakshasas, he can go and have this thing. So that is the speciality. That's why I am Narada. The second thing is, he got Brahma Vidya by being a disciple of Sanat Kumara. Out of the 4 Kumaras, sons of Brahma, so Sanat Kumara was his guru. And then he got this Brahma Vidya. So that means, that is why he is called Narada. Naram Datachi iti Naradaha. Naram means Jnanam, knowledge. Da means Datati, the one who gives. And once he got Brahma Vidya, he did not keep it within himself. And by going all around the Triloka Sanchari, he was giving this knowledge to all the people whom he come across. And we normally say that he creates a trouble and he solves it. Because the solving is the blessing of Narada, that wisdom. Especially Narada was a guru for Prahlada, Dhruva, Vyasa, Valmiki. In the case of Vyasa, we all know that Mahabharatam, Bhagavatam came from him. Because he was the author, you can call it. Even though Vyasa was the one who brought out. Because Vyasa was very depressed. Because he had created so many women's lectures and all that, scriptures and all that. But he was not happy. Because he was not getting, he was finding it that all the people are not happy even after going through all these scriptures and all that. So suddenly Narada came down and then Narada asked him, what is the cause of your depression? And then Vyasa told all the problems he has. Then, what Narada told him was that this pain or anxiety is not real. It is a delivery pain. You are going to deliver a valuable treasure in the form of Bhagavatam, which is nothing but the Leela of Krishna, Lord Krishna. And, by reading that, everybody will be happy and everybody will get liberation. So that is how the Bhagavatam came into the picture. Same thing with Valmiki, Ramayana. Ratnagara was a wayside robber and he converted him into this one. Same thing in the case of Prahlada, Dhruva and all that. So that means he is a guru for these people. One very important thing is Narada always carries a veena. And he was also a guru for our saint Tyagaraja. Same like Vyasa, Tyagaraja was also got stuck in one place. He had a lot of doubts, lot of things. He was not able to clear. And he is a devotee of Rama. So again, Narada came as a Brahmin to his house as a guest. And then he gave him a book. And that book gave all the answers to Tyagaraja. And that's how he became a... But, the moment he wanted to see the Brahmin, where you got this book, he was not there. He has already disappeared from the scene. So, with all these glories, he says, I am Narada. Maharshinam cha Naradaha. Gandharvanam Chitradaha. Gandharvanam is the one who is a musician in Gandharva Loka. All arts, all the art, sculptures and all that is all in Gandharva Loka. So there, the king of Gandharva Loka is a colony in heaven. I am Chitraratha. Chitraratha is a king. Siddhanam Kapilo Munihi. Siddhana means there are various types of siddhis. In the case of siddhis, it can be cultivated, it can be natural, it is inborn because of the previous punyam we have done in the previous birth. And the one who gets naturally the siddha, he will be a jnani and he has the wisdom. This is supernatural powers that we call it. In nowadays, we have in medical term Siddha Vaidya. Siddha Vaidya. There are a lot of Vaidyas. Their power is not acquired. It came along with their birth. That is why they call it Siddhi. But in the case of Kapila, Siddhanam Kapilo Munihi. Kapila is a rishi. He was doing tapas, austerity, where in Patala Loka, in that Gankavataranam, the story was that 60,000 sons of Sagara Putras, because Sagara wanted to conduct a yajna, Rajasuya yajna, that is done by princes, kings. And for that, you have to send a horse, and that horse should not be defeated by any other kings. And if he completes that Rajasuya yaga, the Indra's power will come down. He will be replaced by this new owner of this Rajasuya yaga. So Indra tried to disturb that yajna. So what he did was he got out of that horse, and these 60,000 children were chasing him. Ultimately, Indra was left with no other alternative but to go to Patala Loka. And when he went to Patala Loka, these people were chasing him. And there he saw Kapila Muni doing tapas, austerity. And there he tied the horse and he walked away. And these 60,000 children went inside and they mistook that Kapila has stolen this horse, and they tried to disturb his tapas. And he opened his eyes and they were all burnt to ashes. And then the other son of Sagara, he tried again and again and again. And the son's name was Bhagirath, and Bhagirath could rescue all his 60,000 brothers, elders, by bringing Ganga. That's why it's called a Gankavataranam. He could rescue them. So that Kapila is a Siddha Purusha as well as a Brahmajna. He is a Atmajnanam is available to him. So that is the reason why I am Kapila among Siddhana. All these glories, one by one, you will see that in every glory, either in Puranas or in Upanishad or in nature, like Himalayas and all that, he has picked up a few glorified ones to explain to us that if you stick to them, any one of them, that we will turn towards meditation, and then we will reach the Japa Yajna standard where we can go interior and be one with that original consciousness. So that is the purpose of this one. So now this Vibhuti Yoga is only giving an expanded outlook of our mind. That means you see everything as the glory of Bhagavan. So once you see everything as the glory of Bhagavan, and that is the vibhuti, that is the, I mean, we will not, right now, we have only one single God, because we don't see others as God. If I am a Shiva Bhakta, Shiva is superior. If I am a Krishna Bhakta, Krishna is superior. So that is the type of attitude we have. But once we have this Vibhuti Yoga, then we will see everything as God, and then this mind will get expanded, and then we will be able to have tolerance, patience, and then once we see everything as God, God's creation, God's glory, then it will be easier for us. That means we have become from Tamoguna to Rajoguna to Sattvic Guna. So once we become a Sattvic Guni, then it is easier to cross that Sattva Guna also to become one with Bhagavan. Brahma Veham Asmi, Aham Brahma Asmi. So that is the purpose of this Vibhuti Yoga. Now the next sloka, Natarajan will take up. Next 2-3 slokas. Natarajan.
Hari Om, Jai Guru. So 28, 29 and 30, I'll take up. Let's start with 28. Ayudhanamaham vajram dhenunam kamadhup prajanasyasmi gandharvah sarpanamasmi vasuki. So here he says, of all the ayudhas, I am Vajram. Ayudha means the
weapons.
Weapons. I am Vajram. But see, what is the Vajram is really something, it is supposed to be the strongest. And why Indra has to go for Vajram? The story goes like that. See, once the Asuras, they conquered all the, including Indra, all Devas. So they couldn't do anything. So that particular, that Asura is called, I forgot the name.
Yastrasura.
Yastrasura. So that he has got a boon that he cannot be killed by any other, Ayudhas, weapon made of wood or the metal, any metal. He cannot be killed. So these people could not do anything. So Indra, he first met Shiva. Then Shiva said, "You meet Vishnu." So Vishnu suggested a name of a sage. So he meets him. That sage is called, it's a very interesting story. Dadichi. What is the specialty of that sage is, that sage was asked to, when all these Asuras conquered the Devas, they kept all their, the weapons in a sort of a lake. And this sage was asked to look after that. This sage, he used to drink the water slowly whenever he needed. So he got so strong, all his body and his everywhere. So Vishnu suggests you go and ask him. He will suggest. So he says that backbone is the strongest. So any weapon made of that, you can use it and it will be the strongest. So with some the conditions and all, he removes that. He tries, and his backbone was taken, and they made a weapon out of that, which is called Vajrayuta. So with that, he can kill anybody. That sort of, he became very strong. So that is why the Vajra is supposed to be the strongest, weapon. So Krishna says, I am that Vajra of among all weapons. Then, it's a very interesting story where everything is like that only, in those days. Then, Denunamasmi Kamaduk. So among the cows, I am Kamadenu. Kamadenu, everybody knows. In fact, that also came out of that, Shira. That is, when the ocean was churned using Vasuki, many things came out. Just now, Ramnanji, he explained. So one of them is this Kamaduk, Kamadenu. Kamadenu, it was in possession of, people say, Vasishta, and for some time, and then other king, again I'm forgetting the name. So anyway, it was with them, and they used this milk to do all yajna and all. And if some disturbance comes, it will protect those people. That means water is required. Nobody, come near that. So that was the power of Kamadenu. It's not just it will give whatever we want. Generally it is supposed to be like that, but actually it has the power to protect whoever uses the milk for the yajnas and other things. So this is the story of Kamadenu. So the other person is Jamadagni. He also in possession of that Kamadenu for some time. So this is the story. So Krishna says, I am among all these cows, I am Kamadenu. So the powerful and special kind of the cow. Then Denunamasmi Kamaduku.
Oh, the Kartaviriyan. The king. Kartaviriyan, the king. Kartaviriyan. Kartaviriyan.
No king who had it, isn't it? Okay. In fact, I forgot the name. I read about it. Yeah. Then the Rajanamasmi Kandarbha. Kandarbha is Manmadan, king of, we say love or passion. So that is the thing given to him. So we know about Manmadan. So because of that, so Krishna says, I am Manmadan in the Rajanamasmi, that is in producing children. That sort of that passion is, I am that. So Krishna says that. And Sarpanamasmi Vasuki. So among all, the Sarpas or the Nagas. So I am Vasuki. Vasuki also came out of that, Shira Samudra. That means Vasuki itself, it was used for churning the ocean. What is that? Shira Sagara. So it was used. So Vasuki is supposed to be the king of all, Sarpas. So in fact, see here, what I find very interesting is if you see the parents of all these people, they're same, that, and these are all probably all his siblings. Everybody was great. In fact, next we are going to see is what is that? Ananta. That is Adisesha also. That is also his brother of this Vasuki. So she had that possession of Nagamani, that we call it Manikam, which was very powerful. And Adisesha brother and Manasa sister. So, and the Vasuki is also supposed to be the ornament of Parameshwara. So always it was there around his neck. So these are the speciality of Vasuki. And so So I am Vasuki among all these sarpas. That's what he says. All the great things are, see why he mentions only great is it is outstanding. People can see. Otherwise, if it is a normal, this thing, it is not visible, either physically or even, the power is not understood. That's why he gives such examples. Otherwise, everything is he only. But for people to understand, he gives these great, things one by one, which are the best among the, many other things, which is the greatest. So this, because Arjuna wanted specifically, I want to know about your special glories so that I can imagine. And Krishna, right from the beginning, he says, I am the Atma of, all. So one can, by actually thinking on this, one can really slowly, other day also we saw. So when you say I am Sagara, our mind will expand. It helps us to expand the mind. So one by one he mentions, and any of these things we can take and try to contemplate on that. It will actually lead us to that stage, that is expanded mind. That is the aim. Once the mind becomes expanded, that means it is not that particular, the jiva or the person. So when it expands, that the individuality totally vanishes. That means the ego totally vanishes. So it helps. That's why Arjuna asks. So one by one he explains. Then next I think so. Sarpanamasvaski. Anantaschaस्मिनागानां varuno yadasamaham पितॄणामर्यमाच्चास्मि यमं संयमतामहं यमः संयमतामहं. So the here the 10:29 it says of Nagasarpam, I am Ananta. Ananta is Adisesha, Anantasesha. In fact, on Ananta, this the serpent with 1,000 heads, Vishnu actually rests on that. That is the abode of Vishnu on Kshira Sagara. It is very powerful. In fact, I mean, we might, most of us, we would have heard the waking time or the waking space. This is also a dream. Very difficult to normally understand this when we say this is dream. How it is explained in a very short way in Yoga Vasishta. Earlier, I think once this was mentioned. That is, we don't accept that the waking state is a dream. Very difficult, because everything, there is no change. Next day when you say wherever your thought was, it remains to be there. Wherever you keep your thing, it is there. So there is no change. So it appears to be real all the time. Whereas our dream itself changes, everything changes. Sometimes it's dreadful, sometimes it is a very happy dream, and all sorts of things. Whereas here it changes. So we can't accept that this is dream. What happens, it seems, is why I mentioned here is that Adishesha, on which Vishnu rests, when Vishnu sleeps means what? It is dream of Vishnu expressed through the Adishesha. The Adishesha, when it unwinds. See, when he sleeps, it can little bit be easy. So when it unwinds, the world and everything appears. It is like a dream. But why it appears to be constant? That means there is no change. So the reason is, in our normal dream, the duration is, it seems, people have found that it is 4 to 6 minutes only. Whatever be even the longest dream, it lasts for only 6 minutes or so. Whereas here, in this case, at least we would have heard the time scale of Brahmaloka and this Bhumi. There, one day is one yugam for us. We might have heard yugam consists several lakhs of years. So that 5 minutes dream, it will be our lifetime or more than that. That's why it remains the same. Even in our dream, if a character sleeps and gets up, things will not change. But very difficult to notice this. Whereas here, you can imagine at least. That's why this dream, we are all, characters in the dream. So it lasts for years together, hundreds of years. So we don't believe that it is a dream like our dream. So this is the beauty of that. What is that? Ananta, Adisesha. Adisesha is all the time remaining. That's why Sesha means which is remaining. It just be like that. So it's almost like a part of Vishnu. So this, he says, this is of course very obvious. I am that Ananta of all the Nagana. Then next is Varuna. See, among all the water bodies that its strength and all these things, I am the king, Varuna. Varuna is the actually, you can say, it's of all. It dwells in water, and Varuna. What is that? Japa. When we can bring in rain and all those things. So Varuna was in charge of all these water bodies. It was, you can say, the king of all these water bodies. And one more thing, the Varuna Japam as it is, it has got a particular raga and the way to rather not chant. It seems it definitely rain drops if one chants this. In fact, there is that Carnatic music raga also. Some people say it is similar, So when it is sung in that particular raga, one can get rain. So that is the speciality of Varuna. Then this thing is Pitranam Aryama Chasmi. Aryama, it is something which rather it's not very not well known like other names. The Aryama, it seems, is sort of a demigod in charge of Pitruloka. That is, after death, the Pitrus, it seems they go to a particular loka. It's called Pitruloka, and the Aryama is the person in charge. He takes care of their requirement, and whenever that this thing goes off, whatever they acquired, they again send back to the Bhuloka. Like that it goes. So he is the person in charge. That's why of all the Pitrus, I am Aryama. So he is also a special guy. Then next is Yama. This we know very well. Samyama Dhamaham. That is, I am the Yama. What they say is of controllers. There are many gods which controls. Yama is the perfect controller, the best controller, because whenever it is required, he is able to take them up, or the death takes place. It is all in his control. So of all controllers, I am Yama. It is a sort of thing Krishna explains to Arjuna. See, if you see one by one, when he says, I am that means, I am that, the best one means what? See, Krishna here, we don't see him as a king but he is, we all know, he is all pervading. You can call him Vishnu or Atma. And the beginning itself, he says, I am Atma in all bodies. So, when it is like that, Atma means what? Atma is all pervading, it is non-dual presence. That means it's simply a static presence based on which, and we call it consciousness. Because of that, we are conscious of so many things, our body, the place where we live, and all these things. So the consciousness is pure consciousness, which we won't be able to even imagine. So that's why he gives all these things. What does it do? Okay, we take, let's say, of I am Anantamid, that means Adisesha. Or earlier, he gave so many other examples, Narada and all. What happens when a particular power one has at the maximum level, ultimate level, it is also, it is it is like that because of the consciousness, or we call it Brahman rather, Brahman. So because of its that pure consciousness, we get the consciousness. So all these best examples he has chosen, it becomes because of that. That is, it is made of consciousness. Any of these things. So he says, I am that. Even though it is surrounded in 9th chapter, we have seen everything is in me, but I am not in them. So 9th chapter, 5th or 6th sloka. So this we have to very, very clearly understand. Krishna is not. Krishna in the body form, he is not any of these things. He's, the real form. So that is all pervading presence. So it what do you call? It brings out and it shows out whatever is best in everybody. It takes that form, like in a water body, let's say lake or small pond or whatever it is. We see trees and any vehicle moving nearby, houses and people and all. It's all there, but water is not that. Water is unpolluted because of the presence of so many people and houses and other things. It all appears there. Similarly, consciousness reveals whatever has been described here. So this one we have to clearly understand. So whatever is revealed, it is in the form of, you can call it mind. Earlier also we have seen, whenever cognition means, whatever you see, it forms the same. That is, its image is formed in the mind and mind understands. This is a basic truth we have to all the time rather remember. So so everything is made of what? The water, when we see our face, the face is made of water. So similarly, here, everything we see is made of consciousness. That is, mind stuff is consciousness. Consciousness is nothing but Brahman. That's why, again, in I think 3rd chapter or so, we have seen everything is Brahman. It comes, So, and again, 7th chapter also it is repeated. So everything is that. So to get this idea clearly and understand, so many examples are given. So this particular, the examples given, one can contemplate on that and understand, as Ramanand told earlier, everything is Brahman. To get that, one has to really contemplate. Is it really so? So how it becomes this like this? Why is this? I am that. Once it is understood clearly, so whatever we see is nothing. We can use the word God. nothing but God, nothing but Brahman, nothing but Atma, whatever is seen. So, because of our ignorance, we think that they are all outside, I am seeing. So, this statement itself is not correct. That's why when in sleep, when mind is totally withdrawn, when we open the eye, it cannot see. If somebody shows some flower or something, the next day if you ask, he'll say, no, I didn't see any. Because everything is, what we see is the image of that thing in the mind. In fact, mind, it doesn't need eyes to see. It understands, and that's what is cognition. If other things are also like that, hearing, touching, smelling, everything is like that. Everything takes place in that mind zone, we can call, or in the conscious space. So once it is understood clearly, then all the time we will have that idea that I am in that. Ramana in this thing he says, Upadesaram. Bhava bhalatinal bhavanadita sadbhavatirtale undi para arabatti tattvam undi para. To get that, so many examples are given, and every one we can contemplate and be like that, at least when we do that contemplation or meditation. So I think there is no time for the next one.
Time is up. Time is up.
Okay. Yeah. Hari Om.
Thank you, Natarajan. It was very good today. And since you have to take up 30, so you can take up 30 and 31 in the next session. And
Sure.
The balance 2-3 slokas, I will take it up.
Yeah, wonderful. Yeah.
Om Purnamada Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnameva Vashishyase. Hari Om Sri Gurubhyo Namaha. Hari Om.